Hi everyone, John here from CJM'S events and Run Mount Hutt. This is a briefing of the race information and an update on some very important changes to the 25 kilometres for Saturday. In the background you'll see a video with coverages from the recce's off the course. This was from the other day and earlier today. Hopefully some of this will help you on Saturday and what you are expecting. If you're watching this and asking yourself why I haven't entered this amazing event with truly incredible views, it's not too late. Go to runmthutt with two T's.co.nz. That's go to runmounthutt.co.nz. Late entries close at midnight tomorrow. That is midnight Thursday. It's important that you read the information that was sent out to you or watch this and understand everything that is going to be happening is this race briefing, and everything is for your safety and everyone else's safety that is participating, because we don't want anything to happen, especially when you see some of the fantastic views you get to see, and if someone has a mishap where they could slide down to. So race day is Saturday, the 14th of March 2026. For those that will be picking up their race packs at Fitness New Zealand, they would, if you haven't picked it up yet, you have tomorrow to do so. So till 5 o'clock tomorrow, then we will be grabbing the race packs, because we'll be going out to on-site on Friday at the Awaara Rata Reserve. So you need to pick them up at Fitness New Zealand, 485 Papanui Road in Christchurch. Look out for the Garmin flags outside the shop. So you've got till 5 o'clock tomorrow night to pick those up. On Saturday morning between 6:30 and 7:15, you'll be able to pick them up at the start line. And that's at the Awaara Rata Reserve, or McLennan's Bush, also known as. If you're from outside of Christchurch, you can pick up your race packs on Saturday morning if you haven't already made arrangements and had those posted to you. Now the start finish is at the Awaara Rata Reserve, and the following timetable will be 6:15 is when the reserve opens. 7:45 there will be race briefing for all participants. Now we were going to split the two races and start them, the 25k at 8 a.m. and the 12k at 8:20. With the number of runners that we've got, we will set everybody off at 8 a.m. I think that'll be the right way to do it. So everybody will start at 8 a.m. at the start at our Rata Reserve. It won't be split, it'll all be at 8 a.m. So if you are doing the 12k and you thought you were going to arrive late, but you shouldn't be for 7:45 race briefing anyway, you will all start at 8 a.m. Now 3 o'clock is when we've got prize giving, but we believe everybody should be finished by around about 2 o'clock approximately, and if that is the case, it will be 15 minutes after the last person is finished. So aim for 2 o'clock. With the change of the course for the 25k, it may be a little bit after that, but let's anticipate go for 2 o'clock. We initially said 3, but looking at last year's results, we had prize giving around that 2 o'clock, and we'll aim for that again. So please make note of that. There are toilets at the start-finish area. These are public toilets, they're public long drops. Just watch your sunglasses if you happen to be wearing them. As if you drop them, it's goodbye. That comes from personal experience. Just ask Carol about that from many years ago. During the run, there won't now be toilets available during the run. We initially were going to have a toilet at Mount Hutt Skifield car park, but we'll cover that shortly. So there won't be another toilet on the course. If you need to do anything on course, any of your finest, you need to make sure you have a poo bag with you to grab that. So race numbers. Race numbers are to be fixed to the front of your running top, so it's visible throughout the event. If you start with another top on, and the number must be transferred to be visible the whole time. If your number is not visible at the start, you will not start. If it's not visible during the event, you could actually be pulled from the event, as will be deemed you are not a registered competitor. Pins are provided in your race packs, and if you wish to purchase any bib dots or a race belt, you can from our online shop at CJM'S events. Go to runmounthutt.co.nz, click on shop, and that will take you to those. You can purchase them online. We will have bib dots and race belts available on the morning as well if you want to purchase them on the day. Now the 25k, there has been a change to the course. Now, this is due to safety reasons with dynamite blasting happening on the ski field. This means a change of the course, which actually makes it more dynamic, not dynamite, dynamic, as this change will actually probably make it a permanent change, as it is pretty amazing where we're going to be putting you. It can't be understated what it's like. Our understanding was that the old road, the old Mount Hutt road and track, had disappeared, but it hasn't. It is there. So we'll come to that shortly. The 25k starts and finishes the Awarata Reserve, and it makes its way to up through Scott's Saddle, and then you'll turn right onto the wee wooden bridge just after the start. Follow the trail to the intersection at Scott's Saddle and Ridge Tracks. It's approximately 1.6k into the run. You'll turn right and follow the Scott Saddle track all the way to the Mount Hutt Skifield Road. At approximately 3 km, you'll come across red arrows that will point you in the right direction. And these are like red triangles that you will see, and you'll have blue waratahs also as markers. Waratah is a stake in the ground, and it's got a blue colour on the top of it. The track is clear the whole way for you. When you're going through around about the 2 to 2.5k, there has been a lot of wind-blown trees. These you just climb over and get yourself over. A couple of them you'll probably go under. That is all just part of the track and part of the challenge that goes through there. Once you get onto the Skifield Road, you'll travel about 4 kilometres up the road until you come to the second car park. The car parks that are there have got a lot of timber pointing upwards, and cars park around behind those. When you get to the second one of these, you will be directed onto the old Mount Hutt Skifield Road. This was decommissioned in the late 1970s, and it's now used by mountain bikers and trampers to get to the repeater beacons, and then you can actually go all the way around into the ski field. But we're going to be going right up to the repeater beacons and turning around there at that point. So you will actually run on this track through there. A lot of that is in the background behind me, with spectacular views, especially over the Rakaia River and through the Rakaia Gorge. You follow the trail, and you need to concentrate on the trail and not the views. It is a long way down if you do trip. We don't want anyone tripping whatsoever. It is stunning scenery, and it's not seen by many people nowadays, so it's something pretty special that you actually get to go on to this part of it. So you see the Rakaia Gorge and the upper Rakaia River. When you turn around and come back, be extra careful on the descent and watch when you pass other runners. It may be that you choose to walk through some of this when you come to the snow on the track. Yes, there is some snow up there. Be extra careful when you come to that snow. There are currently 3 to 4 spots of snow across the trail that's there, and it can be slippery, so be very, very careful when you get to that. We'll have some pink paint painted on the ground directing you where to go. At times, there's not a lot of pink paint, so don't panic if you haven't seen anything. It's just where some of the things sort of hairpin round. We may put them there if we believe there is any doubt on where to go. So just continue to follow these markers and follow that track until you're turned around. Once back onto the Skifield Road, it will be pretty fast, and watch the speed coming down the road. To Scott Saddle, then down into the Awarata Reserve to the finish. Now the 12k, we are going to start you at the same time with the 25k runners, and when you reach the Skifield Road, you run up there until you reach the turnaround. There'll be turnaround cones put in there. It'll be just past Rocky. Rocky is the big rock, which you'll probably see in the background of this video as well, and it's just a few meters, and that we've thought it was 500 meters, but it's actually not 500 meters. It's only about 50 meters past the rock is the turnaround for you guys. There are no K markers during the course, so don't expect to see any K markers. Don't rely on your GPSs, as it doesn't always read accurately when you're in amongst trees and going up and down the steps. When I went through the Scott Saddle the other day, there were 300 meters difference on going up to what it was coming down, and we did exactly the same distance. So just be pretty mindful about that. Now the cut-offs, we aren't changing the cut-offs that we had initially, so they are staying the same. The 6k turnaround, we've got 10:10 turnaround for the 12.5k at the top will still be 12 noon. We'll monitor that as well. Depends on how fast everybody gets through across the new changes. Shouldn't be a lot different. It might be a little bit quicker actually. It might be a little more friendly. And you don't have to worry about bluffs with rocks falling. At 19k mark, by the turnaround on the way back, at the down by Rocky, you have to be there by 1:30, and then the finish we're saying at 3 o'clock, but we expecting everyone to be finished by 2. 12k participants must reach the turnaround as they at 10:10 at 1:15 minutes. 25k, you've got your cuddles, which I spoke about there before. Now, passing on the track, if you come up to someone on Scott's Saddle or across the old Mount Hutt Road, make sure that when you call out when you want to pass and say you're passing on the left or the right or where you want to pass, please respect all the participants. If you come across someone else out for a walk, and this would be the only possibility of Scott's Saddle, respect them as a user. Do not go off the track, and look around, as there are traps for possums, stoats, and there are also traps there for wasps. Last year somebody kicked a wasp nest, and the wasps took exception to that, and the poor guy got quite a few welts and stings with having to pull out from the event. There are wasp traps out there. They are yellow ones that are on the trees. Do not touch them. Don't go near them. You may hear some buzzing at different times. Yes, that is either the wasps or the bees and that are about there, but they won't chase you unless you turn around and chase them or knock anything. So please do not touch any of the traps. So as I said, the same thing applies on passing the old Mount Hutt Road. Communication as you pass going both ways. If you have to wait until somebody on the track until it widens a little bit, a couple of spots it's very narrow, please make sure. If you have vertigo or get vertigo, it may be worth you having to think about whether you wish to go across onto the old Mount Hutt Road part for the run, because you get a bit of a feeling from there because you are way up high and there's no fences around you or anything like that. There has been a lot of rain in the last week and a little bit of snow, a couple of some more rain which is going to be early on Friday morning. It will make the Scott Saddle part of the run maybe a little bit slippery depending on how much rain we do get overnight. So drink station and toilets, there will be a drink station at the 6k at the turnaround by Rocky with water and R-line. We will have another drink station put where you go on to the old Mount Hutt Road, so we'll have water and R-line there as well. It won't be at the turnaround, it'll be where you turn to go on to the old Mount Hutt Road. That will be the spot where we'll have some drinks and that there for you as well. There won't be a toilet out on the course, as we said, so just be mindful of that. For 25k, well, it's not up to me to say about that, but make sure you go to the loo before the start. Marshals, please obey all instructions from any marshals. These instructions will be definitely for your safety. The marshals will be located at the turnarounds and at where you go onto the old Mount Hutt Road and at Scott Saddle, and then a couple of spots on Scott Saddle as well. We recommend that you carry your mobile phone with you and have my phone number in your phone. There is coverage throughout most of it. There's a couple of little spots that you don't get coverage, but now where the course is, there is coverage right throughout. So if something does go wrong, you can call myself on 027 226 7769 or Carol's number on 027 253 1056. Just a key point on that: if you do ring and you do not get an answer, don't leave a voice message, send a text. If you can send a text to us, we get the text. The texts come through a lot quicker. So if you ring, don't get an answer, send a text, and you can also ring again. So try my number first. If you don't get anything there, try Carol second and do the same process there. There are medals for all finishers for their appropriate distance, a 25 or a 12k, and prize giving will be approximately 15 minutes after the last participant has finished. And based on last year, that was around about 2 o'clock. So make sure you sort everything all out for 2 o'clock. We will have some, I've come to that in a minute, car parking. We have got car parking will be outside of the Awawarara Reserve on McLennan's Bush Road. Now that's parked on the berm of that. Just be really, really careful when you drive into the berm that there have been some trees cut down up by the fence line. So there are stumps there. I know when last year somebody's car, their skirt got damaged at the front of when they drove into the tree stump. So be very, very careful there. Food and beverage for coffee. Sorry, there isn't a coffee machine, coffee vendor there. Based on the numbers, they felt it was insufficiently too low to come along. So what we'll have some coffees, some muffins, drinks and chips and stuff that will be available for purchase. And Carol might be the coffee maker, or it might be myself. And that can be either done by cash or FBOS. T-shirts, if you are looking to pre-order, if you've pre-ordered your t-shirt, it'll be with your race pack for pickup. If you have not pre-ordered one, we'll have some of these available. These are the t-shirts. Maybe you can see that from there. Not a very good model, but it is on at the moment. This is what it looks like. Now, mandatory gear is a long sleeve wool or polypropylene top, thermal hat, beanie, no buff, thermal gloves, waterproof jacket, seam lined with a hood, survival blanket or a bag, and a whistle, and then having my number in your mobile phone for it. A lot of the mandatory gear is not actually, don't panic to say, I don't need this because I'm only doing a short course or do anything like that. If something happens to you and you've gone down a cliff or slipped down somewhere, that is the time when you're going to need the mandatory gear. If you've broken an ankle or broken a leg and you're down off the track somewhere, that is when you're going to want to put something on if you go into shock or anything like that. So it is for the benefit is for you, for your health and safety, not for me just trying to be the ogre and make things hard. It is all about making sure that you are safe if the worst thing happens. That's what it's about. 99% of the time you don't ever use this gear, but it's the 1% of the time that you do need it and you do have to use it that you'll be really grateful to having it. Now the weather forecast has been all over the place, but it seems to have settled. It is going to be basically a nice calm day with some sun, but believe it, on that 25k when you go out around on the old Mount Hutt Road, the wind really bites into you. It was blowing about 8 kilometres today when I was up there, and boy, I had my seam seal jacket on to make sure that I was warm, because that was bitterly cold. So apparently tomorrow it's going to be about 70 kilometres an hour up there. So I'm glad I did that recce today. I wouldn't be doing it tomorrow for that. So the UV is going to be high, so make sure you get sunblock on. Insect repellent is recommended, especially through Scott Saddle. Spectators, no vehicles are allowed up the Mount Hutt Road past Scott Saddle. For everyone's safety, this is limited to only the event vehicles beyond that point. If you are a spectator or a participant, and you attempt to go up there to watch them, that your participant would be disqualified. It is recommended that only four-wheel drives actually attempt to go up the road as well, because it is very, very steep, and you're only going to see them for a few seconds. One of the key things are that you cannot go past that Scott Saddle. For spectators, we need to know who's up there, especially with the blasting that's going to be happening up on the ski field. So nobody goes up there, not even our marshals, and that will be going past the turn off to the old Mount Hutt Road. That's just straight out no-no. You wouldn't want to be there with the blasting they're doing. Now, with other health and safety and people's ability, we ask that you have entered the correct event and you are capable and are fit enough with the capabilities to complete the distance that you have entered, and you can complete it sufficiently. If you've had heart palpitations or shortness of breath in the last 2 weeks, we recommend that you see a doctor and seek his opinion before participating. We emphasize this again for your health and well-being. COVID-19. If you've tested positive or a household member has, we request that you do not come to the event. If you have symptoms of COVID, we also request that you do not attend. This is the safety of yourself and any fellow competitors, officials, and their immediate family members, because they could be immune compromised. So please respect that. Please make sure you understand everything that is happening on the day and you enjoy the inaugural Mount Hutt. I hope you've enjoyed the scenery in the background. You will get to see that, or everyone doing the 25k will get to see that on Saturday. Hey guys, we'll see you on the start line. Take care and see you there. Cheers.